It's time for John to be revealed his truthful words. And so this is part 1, verse 1. And as you know, I like sticking my text up, and then I like to start to talk about what I'm doing here. But right now, I want to talk to you for a second and explain a little bit about myself. Our Creator made me see him 8 times, and therefore I don't have a belief that our Creator exists. I know he exists. And what he's done is given me all the answers to reveal the truths of Jesus. A lot of you don't know about how to meditate and have sex with the female goddess. Our Creator has let me know that. That's why they went into captivity. They went on to another creator. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain that as I go through the videos, and I'm going to talk to you about why each of the verses need correcting. Let's get on with the story. All right. Now, Jesus tells us in Matthew 5:20 that your righteousness has to surpass that of the scribes, and you will not enter my kingdom into heaven. So how many of you are actually correcting your Bible and correcting it? I mean, crossing things out that ain't wrong. I know you all color it, but the object is make notes and stuff, but are you really saying that this verse is not true? Okay. I have been sent to tell these true truths. And this is what Jesus has said here in Matthew 24:14, that my truths of my kingdom will be preached to the whole world as a witnessing to everyone, and then the end will come. Now, what I'm doing is I'm going to show you all the edits that are wrong in the text. And that's because those that are writing the text, you really can't trust them. Example, let's start out with the word was here. Really, was these words that says was here. Now, I went onto a website and I hammered on some guy that's supposed to be some big-time Christian that's teaching the book, went to school, he graduated, he's got the degrees. And when I brought this up and I was tearing his chat up, that our Creator he isn't was, because if he was, then he has a beginning, but our Creator has no beginning. He just is. And why are these words in the text then? So I'm going to get rid of those words by whatever you see here in blue text, I'm getting rid of. Whatever is in the green text, I need to add. I need to say these words here, was with, coming from, okay? Coming from YV. Now, what I've done is I've replaced every title that says God, and it's a title. It's not his name, people. It's a title. And even if you just understood his title, then how can these words was be there? But the object is I replace it with his name, or these 4 letters that we find in the Hebrew text that says, this is my name. And our Creator defined it as, this is my name. Now, what I'm doing is getting rid of all these people trying to say it said this way or this way, and along. It's plain and simple. It's YV. We're all going to go down this track, and now we know who we're talking about. Very simple, 2 letters, YV. Now, I'm not going to repeat that I've changed every word, every one of these titles for God into his name. But when we do this, the text becomes first person, like we know who we're talking about. Now, this writer does not know who we're talking about, because in the beginning was the Word. No, there was no beginning for our Creator. Our beginning are words. And this pops up. Oh, I'm sorry. Good. I've got it blocked. I'm sitting here and get these damn notifications through Windows on a new computer that just ticks me off. Anyways, our beginning are words coming from YV. Okay, plain and simple. That's as simple as it can get. Okay, now these other words, and the word was YV. Well, I don't need what word was. I just need YV and 4. But the only reason why I'm not canceling it out is because it goes with the next step. next step that I'm going to show you, it actually belongs in another verse. So don't be sitting here thinking that every verse that you see is perfect. They divided the verses up so they could re-edit the text to say that only read this and only study this and only believe this. When you remove all the word or all these verses and go through it, you can find new verses. Example, any one of you want to sit down and take Genesis 1 and copy and go through the text. Leave the numbers in, just make them small. And what I want you to do is go through and find the correct verses, what it says. And in there, you'll find that you can take out, in chapter 1 alone, 59 words. And the biggest word that you'll be taking out is the word there, T-H-E-R-E. Now, I'm talking about ands, ofs, thus, these, those, I mean, not those, but these, not even these. Just the smallest little words, ands, thus, is, ofs, and then you get to, I think, 2 words or 1 word, the. And when you get done with that and you edit the text and clean it up, you'll find you've made it better than the text that's already is. Now, why are not our editors today doing that? Well, I can tell you why. Because the good guys are not in control of the text. Let's take a look here. This is the new. This is the preface to the King James Version of in 1611. Those that translated it into English for us, and they're going to give some reasons here. This here is the first reason. This is the second reason. This is the third reason. And this is the fourth reason, that anybody that knows the story can go in and correct it. Now, here they have an experience. Now, what kind of experience do you need to have this correcting of the text? Or a light and feeling that we attain unto ourselves. You mean anybody just can't pick up the book and read the text and try to explain from the stories themselves? Example, Jesus never walked on the water. Why? There's a video description in the description box below. And it's because Jesus, when you read the story, the boats were being battered by the waves, whitecaps. Therefore, Jesus didn't walk up and down every damn wave. So what did he do? Let's take when I look at the other words in there, a disciple says he is a ghost. Ghost float over, or he was gliding over the water. Now you know that the truth is there. But these guys needed the word walk. Now you say, oh, wait a minute, you're getting all upset. I don't even want to listen to you. All right, who is Gregory the Divine then? Here's a male from earth that's divine. I thought you Trinitarians thought Jesus is divine. So you're all following a path that you shouldn't be. You're listening to people instead of actually opening up the text and trying to learn yourself. Now here's something that really should upset you. Here they're writing that the first Roman emperor corrected the calendar and ordered the year according to the course of the sun. And this is what means that he was changing the calendar that was established by who? Well, who was ruling over before Rome? The Persians? Who before the Persians? Was it the Assyrians? And what about Babylon, which they were sent into when the last kingdom of Judah was sent into, a nation of Judah was sent into to Babylon, and there was no more promised land, no more people living unto our Creator in the promised land as we know it. But what happened was that our Creator made himself known to Nebuchadnezzar, and Nebuchadnezzar, if you read Daniel, said that, yes, he is the only Creator that is the Creator over all creators, okay? Over all the false gods that you hear talking about, he said, no, he's real. And what he did was he set the calendar to the Hebrew calendar. Now, the Hebrew calendar, don't listen to what the secular world is telling you. When you look at the plagues and understand that they're weeks or even a month apart from each other, you will find that, like, I think it's number 8 number 8, where the locusts eat up the sprouting green, which means all the new growth of the green. So we know that in Egypt, there is a first harvest for wheat in April. Now, that is saying that it's April. So how do I come up with the summer solstice as the beginning of the first year of our Creator? Well, the next story talks about he's got darkness over the land, but except for the Hebrews, okay, or the Israelis. Then later he says, I'm going to make this on the Passover is going to be when I'm leading you out. I'm going to lead you out on the first day of your year. Okay. So when he goes and kills all the Egyptians' firstborn sons, that night that we call night, and the next daylight is the first day of their year. So how can you determine when that is according to the plagues? Well, there is what they would know at that time is the summer solstice. They all know how to record the summer solstice. So the thing here is because it was then that they would have been leading them out. So the summer solstice isn't. But here they are so glad to correct the calendar back to the course of the sun. And if you're noticing anything, what's wrong with this word here? Why is it a capital letter? Why is it a capital letter? Did you know the Egyptian god's name is Ra, the sun god? And have you ever noticed in the Vatican's courtyard, there's a Egyptian obelisk? They're onto the god of Ra. Okay, they aren't onto our Creator as a being. They don't believe our Creator is a being who created all creation. Okay, now, this is the second verse, and he was the beginning with God. He was in the beginning with God. Well, the problem with that is when you have this leftover word off the front of the last sentence, you have YV is our beginning from YV. And then this ending needs to do this because this part now needs to go to the next text. So it was not that he was the beginning with God. He is our Creator, and that's over here. Now, what it is for YV is our beginning. In Genesis, how does it start? Our Creator created everything, right? Okay. Now, here's the thing that when you read Genesis, it's hard to see, but until you clean up the text like I told you, you will find that he separated himself from this emptiness that he's hovering around in, okay? So this is why I have, it's not the word nothing is in his emptiness, and it's his emptiness. He owns everything, okay? Everything is our Creator, all right? Now what we have here is, let's see, maybe I'm talking a little bit too loud, but I get excited because it just seems to me that people that don't study don't wake up and understand how bad the text is. They think every word is true. But the object is what I've got here is this is John 1, verse 1, and this is actually John 2, the starting of it. So what we have here is our beginning, our words coming from YV, or YV is our beginning. All right. That it matches Genesis, okay? From YV's every first came into being. From YV, every first came into being. The text says all things, all right? Well, if it means all things, it's actually saying every first thing, because we know that the trees don't just stay around forever. Grass doesn't stay around forever. We know that there's a changing, there's a time that we are related to because we're here on earth, that we have this time where people pass away and new generation begins. But the object is he created every first thing came into being. And in his emptiness, he sent to be. All these firsts, he sent emptiness. In his emptiness, he sent to be, has come into being. Okay, I had to use the word sent. Came was not a good word, just like nothing. You're thinking, okay, well, this idiot's just saying what he wants to say. Excuse me. Let's take a look over here. And oops, I need a different mouse, and I got to go back to John 1. Okay. This Bible program is so old, it only works on Windows XP. It no longer exists. That's what it says. Let's see up at the top, I believe, of the screen. Now, here it is saying all things, okay? All things. Well, look over here. How many times they didn't use the word all? Well, they used the word every 129 times. They used all 735 times. But look at all these other times that they used the word differently. Like the word forever just once. Great twice. There is things that this is really the dirty secret of the Bible that you can actually see now that I'm showing it to you, that not every word means what it means when it's coming out of the Greek. Okay. I've got Hebrew words that the word boy is used like 40 times in the Hebrew text. And guess what? It's used once for a girl. I go to the girls and it's used in the one word for boy. Okay. Now I've got that. I've copied it. I don't want to show you that because, example, they even use the word dove as a man's name. And he has 3 parts to his name. His name is like about this long, and it's coming from the word dove. Now, how is that happening? So, anyways, now let's go over here. This one explains why I'm coming up with all things as first things. Every first came into being, because it does have a lot of words in here that do mean every, and it also means all. So every first is the correct way to have this, especially when we make sure that this text is aligned with the Genesis, beginning of Genesis. Now, when it says he created nothing, okay, over here, and then now come over here and look at all these words here. Nothing. Cannot either, cannot even was used, was it 10 times here? Neither, nor, no, nor, all, not either, not even. See all the words in parentheses? Yeah, parentheses. They're using for that word. So if you said the word was nothing, if you go to another part of the text, it would say neither. Okay? 18 times. But when you relate to and understand the text, and these words are actually talking about our Creator as he is in the Genesis, creator of everything, okay? And he is sent everything into being. Just a second. Okay, so when I'm changing text and it says emptiness, just a second, let me make sure. I just wanted to make sure that I had it set that you didn't hear anything, because if I did, I got to start over. He was sent into being, came into being. Okay. He's sent to be as existence, as the word be defines, has come into being. All right. So these are the cleaned up words. Now, him was light. The word that I'm taking out here is in. I'm trying not to get copyright violations, so I guess by me putting in these, I'm changing more than 10% of the verse, which means I guess I own the copyrights to text like this, and I can get away with pushing or showing it to you text on the internet for the simple fact that I sometimes go almost a whole chapter or more than what illegally, when you look it up, is one page of text. So this is what I do to get around the copyright laws. Now, it's from him is life, not was, okay? That word does not exist, okay? That is just the wrong word. So, from him is life, okay? Not in him is life or in him was life. Life comes from him, all right? I'm sure you would agree with that, all right? And by his life here, that's what I'm adding into here, is at the end, not getting rid of this was again, is life, by his life, his light for man. Now, if you see the word men here, and I've changed it to man all through the text, because the text doesn't specifically talk to men only, and it's a secular meaning. Because when you use a secular word today and say man, you're pretty much meaning male. But when you go to the find out how our Creator defined words and throw out your dictionary and actually keep to the words that are here that should be representing the same meaning throughout the whole book, man, our Creator said, our Creator made man, male and female. So his light is for man, okay? Now, I want to example his light. What do I mean? In Genesis, how did he see when he created something? Because when it said he created light, that's lights for the earth, okay, and the moon and the stars, okay? So how did he see what he was creating? His being is a being of light, and his light is for all man, okay? Now, because if we going out into the abyss, we'd get lost. We have no way of seeing. We'd have no existence without his light, okay? An example, the text will say, or it says in Genesis, that he separated himself from darkness. Well, that means he created heaven in another dimension of time and space. Okay? Therefore, when you see people witnessing this near birth or near death experience, and they said, I seen a light and people were talking to me, that is really true. And now you know what heaven is going to look like. It's going to be a place where it is just white light all around you. So to have the text reflect this, his light for man. Now here, this text says light shines in darkness. What light? They didn't put his, they put in the light shines darkness. Or in the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it. Here we got the editors making our Creator and it, okay? Now, how can that happen that the text is reflecting that our Creator is becoming it? Because this darkness is pretty much evil. And I've got that over here. Darkness, evil does not comprehend it, does not comprehend him, the evil, the light. Now, his light. Now, our Creator made me see him 8 times. He shows himself in the abyss. When you are dreaming, or this, what I hear today they call REM state, you are actually in another dimension of time where your soul is. Your soul's still connected to your body. Don't ask me how that happens, but you are in the abyss. Now, for those of you that just jumped out of your seat and threw things at the computer, there's a video below that any male, 13 or older, can visit the abyss and have very life-changing experience by that video to know that they have a soul, there is the abyss, and there are beings that exist in the afterlife. Okay? In this abyss area, light shines in darkness. His light, and it doesn't shine like what we see, like the sunlight shining. I have to put the word shone in here because the only words I can use are brilliant purity. He's not a light, but he shows himself as a being of a circle of light. Even though that I've stood before the light and his arm has come out, a real arm, but maybe that was just for me. But that's how I know that when I was talking to our Creator that way, I knew who he was, and he made himself known as uh, this being of circular white light. But it's not really circular, okay? Because the light is so pure, I don't know if it has a surface, say like a magnifying glass, that type of thing. But the object is that his light shines in darkness. Now, in that video, I've explained a few things that you people in the Western world have no idea. The Taoists in China, they have lived to search out everything. I mean, everything. And what they have found when they meditate, not only did they find out that you meditate at certain times to have this sex-like experience with the so-called female goddess, that they experience out there in this deep abyss, which they call heaven because they get to talk to these people and know it. And that's their truth of existence after life, is by meditating after 10 years, and this is daily, they will get a being that will talk to them. After 25 years, they're talking to them every day, okay? So if you're looking for extra proof there, they've known about it. You are just so in the dark and being controlled by Satan and don't care. You're deceived. Wake up. It's time to live life a little bit differently. This is prophecy happening in your day, and I'm explaining everything and truthfully. You want to know how to have sex with a female goddess? I got that video up. I have it down for private viewing right now. But yes, that is the truth. And I tell the whole story and how it's done, when it's done, and what you want to do to make sure you get all those extra metaphysical feelings from that experience. But the object here is when our Creator told Cain, Abel is calling to him from the abyss, that means the soul of Cain was still alive, but in another dimension of time and space, which our Creator called the abyss. Everyone's soul was to go to the abyss, okay, until David, the promise through David, that through his son's seed will he have a king in heaven. And if he forgives those to come into heaven, they can come out of the abyss and live with our Jesus in heaven. You say, okay, that sounds kind of wacky, but have you read the text in one of the four Gospels when Jesus' body died on the cross? The earth shook and they seen ghosts coming out of the ground, okay? Because when Jesus passed away or his body died here on earth and he ascended into heaven, this opened up the abyss and let every one of them come up. And it was shown to us that the abyss is underneath. The people seen these and witnessed them and wrote them down And these things are made for us throughout history to relate back and forth, because we know, I don't know if the abyss is inside the earth, because because let me tell you, if that's as big as the abyss is, yeah, it's pretty large. I've floated around in there a lot of times. When you do that video, you'll find that I've been there quite often. But the object here is that abyss then emptied out of all the good, and the evil people are still down there. So when I've got darkness did not comprehend it, it's that in his emptiness, this abyss. Let's put the word abyss here. In his abyss, in I'm gonna put the in the abyss, yeah, because it's going to be one of these, so I don't need to edit. His light shone in the abyss, and evilness does not comprehend him. Okay, and that's what's happened. Now the Taoists are witness of this, because what they do is say it's when you see the yin yang sign and you see the darkness with the white dot, this is what they found in the darkness out there. And then over here which is the physical world, they know that they found darkness, this abyss, by meditating, okay, that they can go back and forth to these two. You have no idea when you say yin and yang, you know what's going on. I'm telling you, you're here, and there's a level of people here, and then there's those that know Satan exists, and then I'm up here, and I'm telling you all the answers. I'm not trying to deceive you, but I am telling you truths and telling you. I'm not teaching you. I'm telling you what's true or not true. That is just, you've never heard of anybody do this, okay? I'm telling you why these words are wrong and what words they should be. And then when you're out there, evilness did not comprehend him, okay? So this is where he's shown himself in the abyss. In that video below, those of you that think you're righteous, I don't care where you're at on this earth. I don't care what religion you are. If you're a very good person, I mean, a really dedicated, kind, gentle person, our Creator, I believe, will allow you to see him and to redeem you if you do what's in that video. In fact, I know there's witnesses that have done what I've told them down there to do, or in that video below. And they are witnesses of our Creator, okay? Now, here is the text that I just got done cleaning up, okay? And here are the words that are in the text itself. I'll let you take a screenshot of that and take a look at that, because if you're going to follow along and learn from what I am teaching you, you're going to say that, why did he change these words? But when you see these words and you say, okay, these are the words. In fact, I'll tell you what, if you try to break this down and try to actually tell people what it means, you're going to come up with this. This is exactly what you're going to tell them. All right. So the thing here is there are words that are being said that are not true, like the word was. How can our Creator be was? Okay. He is. There is no beginning, no end. We have a beginning and end when we're on the earth. That's our knowledge, but you can't relate what's on earth as for our Creator. Okay, I don't know how much more I'm going to go. I try to make these 40 minutes, but this is the beginning of John. And I've got all the other books done. In fact, I've got them all compiled. I've already went through all the books in Genesis that I'm going to do. And a lot of that's mentioned in the video below, or in the description below, under links. And what I've already put up, what I've already recorded live, for the sake of history, for when people say, why did he change? What did he do? I know I talk choppily sometime and get off subject a little bit, but overall, when you hear, or those that really investigate what I'm doing, they're easily going to find out that yes, I have errors out of my mouth. I might be saying one word when it means another word here. I'm sorry. It's just that I'm trying to make videos. I'm trying to explain, and I'm trying to operate all these buttons at the same time, different windows. Any streamer out there would know how difficult to keep on subject, especially when you're trying to do something like this, let alone um, trying to explain the words within the words. Now we come to these verses, and it looks like this is the last one before I go here on this video. I do them in 40-minute chunks because right now they're 1440p, and the YouTube, when you make too big of a file, they don't let you download it. It just says file too large to download. So the thing here is I have to break these up, and I'm historically archiving them. That's pretty much what I'm using YouTube as a historical archive of all my knowledge about our Creator and the words here. Now, my website, you'll find, is I've already shown that there is hidden formats in the Hebrew side that show that they're the first writer's writings. And then they've tried to add all these other words to it. And it looks like poetry when you see that. That's just stunning. But when you understand that our Creator gave me another format, his hidden format, that's very confusing. But what is true is that there's 3 rules to most of those, and sometimes a 4th rule to how these verses were found, because I did not use the English text. I started by only the words here that you see here in the New American or this Bible program. These words that are highlighted are these here. Now look at this. This, okay. This is what's confusing. Here, this word and this word are the same. This is all things. And then they got this word here. They got this word here, this word here, this word here. This word is the same here, and the same word here. And yet none of them, I guess maybe, what is it, Cain? Or no, yeah. Cain and Cain are in the same verse. But everything else is so different. But the object is that's what's going on. And so when I found our Creator's hidden format, it was that I went through and I double checked all my text of everything that I'd done. And I did the last book, John, because I was trying to, and this was before I was given his hidden formats. And when I started trying to make sense of those first 5 verses, when the breakthrough came was that I erased all the ands, thus, and things like that, and used just those words that you've seen on the Greek or the Hebrew side. And then I tried putting them together as to what they meant. All of a sudden, boom, I realized that these 3 words go together, these 3 words go together, these 3 words go, and I started getting these pieces. And then these pieces actually went together as a paragraph, small little paragraph. And then the same thing happened again right below it. And then there was like 2 paragraphs put together. So that is another game, another story, and I will get to that after I do what I'm doing here, showing you all the hidden formats and correcting the text here, because there are no hidden formats except for our Creator's hidden formats within the 4 Gospels. But when the 4 Gospels are revealed, and then I take them and I combine them together, you aren't ready for this. You really are truly unready, because the people that have read it says it's so in order and amazing that we actually know where the disciples come. We know the order the disciples happen. We know who the names are. We know that there's 7 days of Jesus as he's if in Jerusalem before he is crucified. 7 days in a row. I mean, how does that happen when I take these texts and put them together, these books and put them together? That's what these videos are about. And I'm excited because John's the last one. Shouldn't take me more than a week to do. So then I get to have fun. I think this is it for this one here, and I will see you on the next video. I'm sorry I didn't go through this one here, but I will get to it. Just watch the next video.